So here we go, all sanded. Did that this morning. Rented a sander and then a corner sander, and then went over it with my palm sander afterwards just to double check everything come up all okay. So 4 hours sanding, maybe 5 hours sanding. Then a quick mop over, wait for it all to dry, and then first layer of varnish on. We'll have to see what the colour goes afterwards. I did take a little sample, but I didn't sand the sample down when I varnished it, so it's come up a little darker than before, but that's all right. We were thinking about adding colour, but we just thought, no, we'll leave it as it is. It matches what was in there before. So now it's all smooth, there's no lumps, you can walk all over it. I did find out sitting there watching YouTube last night, there's a glue that you can get, then you mix it up, or it's like an acrylic paste, and you mix it up with the sawdust from the floor, and then you can just trowel over the whole floor before a final sand, and it fills in all the gaps. But we had very little gaps when I first put this in, but the floor needs to settle. So I thought I'll leave it for a year. I'll wait for the floor to properly settle, and we'll see which gaps we get after a year. If we do, then I'll give it a light sand, then I'll go over it all, and then I'll varnish it again. But I think for the minute, because it's all new, I don't want to fill it in just yet. And the actual gaps we've got are negligible in the floor, so it really wasn't worth filling them in yet. But there we go. First layer all in. And I varnished it with the Bona varnish. I used Bona Mega. It's like a Swedish wooden floor varnish. It's quite hard wearing, so having kids, dogs, everybody running around, spilling everything all over it. It lasted well at our last house, so we thought we'd just use the same again. Then second coat to go in the week, and then I can start doing the plaster around the edges, putting an extra 20mm to 30mm plaster all around the edge, and then finally I'm going to pre-primer the skirting, and then we'll put the skirting on. Once the skirting's on, we'll get the walls all filled in as well, start painting the walls, and then finally we can get the radiator back down, and I can start moving some stuff back into this room, and then we can start the next room. The fireplace, I've still got to skim the inside with plaster just to get a really nice smooth finish inside, so we'll do that in a couple of weeks as well. And we've got to put the tiles down in the fireplace. And then we've got to take out all the windows and rebuild all them. But it would just be nice to get the walls painted and put the electrics all on, change the electrics, change the lights, put the spotlights into the ceiling. Yeah, so we've still got quite a bit before I start the other room, but I need to get all the floors done here before sort of October, November, when it gets too cold. Especially the other room. The other room's not going to need so much work on the walls and everything, so hopefully that'll just be rip the skirting out. But there we go, floor almost done.